Hey guys, Sean Lentz here from Appalachian DIY, and today I'm going to show you how to make these really cool dinosaur banks. The first thing that we need to do is we need to get an image onto a piece of paper. The best way I found to do this is to get on Google Images and search for a cartoon image of whatever you want to trace out. In my case, a dinosaur. Now we found some images, but they weren't quite right. So to get a bigger cavity, we have to do a little bit of drawing. And I did mine in Inkscape. You can also do it in Paint, which almost everyone has. Put your image in there and just kind of trace more of a bulbous shape to the body of this, and that'll give you a better cavity for where you can put your coins into. Once you have your shape, you can print it out and cut it out. And then we're going to take a spray adhesive and spray the back of this sheet. We're also going to spray our block and then just press them together. And what that is going to do is it's going to overlay our shape right onto our block, make it so much easier to cut out. Now this block is 2 1/4 inches thick. If you don't have anything quite that thick, all you need to do is get a 2x6 or a 2x8 and put 2 pieces and glue them together to get your added thickness. Now that we have our shape cut out, what we can do is we can come down straight through the top, and that's going to create our coin slot, and then cut out our cavity to our bank. Just be careful, because once we have this cavity out there, it's only a thin border that's going to hold this thing together. So as we're pushing it through the saw, just be careful and don't bust any of the points, especially like right in here where it's really thin as we're pushing it around. Now what we can do is we can go ahead and sand off our paper that we sprayed that adhesive on to get rid of that, and we can just kind of smooth out our edges. Now that we have them all sanded up and nice, what we can do is you can either stain them or paint them. I'm going to use a Danish oil on them and just give them a nice coat to kind of protect the wood, and then we can move on to the next step. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to place our dinosaur on a sheet of Lexan with the film still attached. That way we can trace. We're going to do the inside and some of the outside, that way we know how thick to make it. And this will be the plate for our dinosaur bank. Once we have our first piece cut out, place it back on the Lexan. We'll cut a duplicate for the other side. Now that our side plates are cut out, what we can do is we can go ahead and take off this protective coat. Take it off on the side here that has these edges on them. And what we can do is just take a sanding block and just kind of sand off those little wisps around the edges. Okay, then we can take our other side off. And then all we need to do is just take our plate and set it down here. Now we can take some pan head screws. You can use ones that you're going to need to countersink. These are easier to use, just the pan heads themselves. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a drill bit, and this encompasses both the threads and the body of the screw through the plastic. That way that when we go and thread the screw through, the threads won't be catching through the plastic and potentially cracking it. Once we have our plastic drilled, we're going to go to a smaller drill bit, and this drill bit will go down through the wood, and it's just catching the body of our screw and leaving the threads out so we can thread down through the wood. Now that we have this side done, what we'll do is we'll leave this off. We won't screw it down just yet. We'll flip it over, trace our other side, drill it out, and then we can screw it down. Once we have our holes drilled into our wood and our plexiglass or our Lexan, we can go ahead and place it back on. Take our pan head screws, and I will hand screw these down in just so we get the proper tightness. If you over tighten, it'll definitely crack your Lexan. Don't want that.
Well, that wraps it up for this video. These are a great gift idea, especially if you're a woodworker for small kids. These little dinosaur banks are a really neat idea. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and head over to Appalachian DIY for more videos. Thanks again, guys, and I hope to see you next time.